We'll start on the page with the picture of Amelia Bedilia standing in front of the house. Are you ready? Let's begin. Oh, Amelia Bedilia, your first day of work, and I can't here. But I made a list for you. You do just what the list says, said Mrs. Rogers. Mrs. Rogers got into the car with Mr. Rogers. They drove away. My, what I'm going to like working here, said Amelia Bedilia. Amelia Bedilia went inside. Such a grand house. These must be rich folks. But I must get to work. Here I stand just waiting, and me with a whole list of things to do. Amelia Bedilia stood there a minute longer. I think I'll make a surprise for them. I'll make lemon meringue. I do make good. So Amelia Bedilia went into the kitchen. She put a little of this and a pinch of that into a bowl. Soon her was ready to go into the oven. There, said Amelia Bedilia, that's done. Now, let's see what this list says. Amelia Bedilia read, the towels in the green bathroom. Amelia Bedilia found the green bathroom. Those towels are very nice. Why them? She thought. Then Amelia Bedilia remembered what Mrs. Rogers had said. She must do just what the list told her. Well, all right, said Amelia Bedilia. Amelia Bedilia got some scissors. She a little here and a little there, and she those towels. There, said Amelia Bedilia. She looked at her list again. The furniture. Did you ever hear tell of such a silly thing? At my house, we the furniture, but to each his own way. Amelia Bedilia took one last look at the bathroom. She saw a big box with the words powder on it. Well, look at that! A special powder to with, exclaimed Amelia Bedilia. So Amelia Bedilia the furniture. That should be enough. My, how nice it smells. The drapes when the comes in, read Amelia Bedilia. She looked up. The was coming in. Amelia Bedilia looked at the list again. The drapes? That's what it says. I'm not much of a hand at but I'll try. So Amelia Bedilia sat right down and she those drapes. Amelia Bedilia marked off about the drapes. Now what? Put the lights out when you finish in the living room. And Amelia Bedilia put the lights out. So, those things need to be too, just like pillows and babies. Oh, I do have a lot to learn. My exclaimed Amelia Bedilia. She hurried to the kitchen. Just right, she said. She took the out of the oven and put it on the table to cool. Then she looked at the list. 2 cups of rice. That's next, said Amelia Bedilia. Amelia Bedilia found 2 cups. She filled them with rice. And Amelia Bedilia that rice. Amelia Bedilia laughed. These folks do want me to do funny things. Then she poured the rice back into the container. The meat market will deliver a steak and a chicken. Please trim the before you put the steak in the icebox. And please the chicken. When the meat arrived, Amelia Bedilia opened the bag. She looked at the steak for a long time. Yes, she said, that will do nicely. Amelia Bedilia got some lace and bits of ribbon, and Amelia Bedilia trimmed that before she put the steak in the icebox. Now I must the chicken. Amelia Bedilia went right to work. Soon the chicken was Amelia Bedilia heard the door open. The are back, she said. She rushed out to meet them. Amelia Bedilia, why are all the light bulbs outside? Asked Mr. Rogers. The list just said to put the lights out, said Amelia Bedilia. It didn't say to bring them back in. Oh, I do hope they didn't get too long. Amelia Bedilia, the will fade the furniture. I asked you to draw the drapes, said Mrs. Rogers. I did, see, said Amelia Bedilia. She held up her. Then Mrs. Rogers saw the furniture. The furniture, she cried. Did I well enough? Asked Amelia Bedilia. That's such nice powder. Mr. Rogers went to wash his hands. I say, he called, these are very unusual towels. Mrs. Rogers dashed into the bathroom. Oh, my best towels, she said. Didn't I them enough? Asked Amelia Bedilia. Mrs. Rogers went to the kitchen. I'll cook the dinner. Where is the I asked you to? I put it back in the container. But I remember it measured 4.5 inches, said Amelia Bedilia. Was the meat delivered? Asked Mrs. Rogers. Yes, said Amelia Bedilia. I trimmed the just like you said. It does look nice. Mrs. Rogers rushed to the icebox. She opened it. Oh, said Mrs. Rogers. The chicken? You the chicken? Asked Mrs. Rogers. Yes, and I found the nicest box to put him in, said Amelia Bedilia. Box? Exclaimed Mrs. Rogers. Mrs. Rogers hurried over to the box. She lifted the lid. There lay the chicken, and he was just as he could be. Mrs. Rogers was angry. She was very angry. She opened her mouth. Mrs. Rogers meant to tell Amelia Bedilia she was fired. But before she could get the words out, Mr. Rogers put in her mouth. It was so good, Mrs. Rogers forgot about being angry.